So I'm deliberately using an old photograph. I do love old photographs. So this is the school. This is the school built in the 1870s. And next time you're walking down Brick Lane, I want you to look at the headmaster's house here. And you'll notice this plaque. So I've recently taken a close-up view of it to show it to you. And if you look on the plaque, what you can see is a building that was the previous school before this one was built in a very different style. And if you've got really good eyesight, which I don't, you can just about see there's two doorways, the door for boys, the door for girls, and just above them a little boy in uniform and a little girl in uniform. And you'll be glad to know I've got a close-up of that as well. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this, and here's the little boy and here's the little girl, is do you remember I pointed out on Google Street View the roundel through the railings? That's the roundel. And there's the little boy and there's the little girl. And they're on the pages of an open book surrounded by 8 pencils. Now, in the 1980s, it was decided to do an art project to try to remember and to highlight and to celebrate the art and the culture of all the different ethnic groups that have passed through the East End. And so they got an artist by the name of Keith Bowyer to do the designs. They raised the money in the late 80s, early 90s, and then in 1995, they were fired at a forge in Hackney, Hoyle and Sons. And he did, I think, about 21 different designs and then placed them in strategic places around the East End. They're not all there now, unfortunately. I've got a couple to show you, some of my favourites. This one used to be outside number 18 Folgate Street, the Dennis Severs house, which is where we finished on part 1 of this tour. And Dennis was still alive when these were being made, and he gave Keith, I think they call it a shuttle, that's used on the silk looms that, by the French Huguenots that he found in the house at number 18 Folgate Street. And then the third one I'll mention, that one is still there. That's under the arch. That's under the arch, Mina Thackar's arch at the entrance to Brick Lane. And you can see it's a hand. And what you've got is henna tattoos, henna designs. It's quite common in certain cultures for the women, usually, to paint their body with henna for anniversaries and celebrations and weddings. It's called Mendi, M-H-E-N-D-I. And just for your delectation, the gentle author at Spitalfields Life and my friend Katie at Look Up London have given me permission to show you all of the ones that are left. So please don't take a photograph of that and put it on your social media. I will get killed, but you can have a look at all the different ones here. So I think Keith is still alive. I heard that he was planning on trying to find some of the ones that had disappeared and redo them. So watch this space. This one at the bottom, by the way, that's the ghost of one of the signs. Now, here's a building that you may recognize. I pointed it out on Google Street View. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to replay a little video. Hi, everyone. A little video that I played on the first tour, but just to give you a little refresher. It's only about a minute long. And for those of you that were not with us on the first one, this is just me introducing that building, which is one of the most unique buildings possibly in the world. And I did these little tours in the run up to lockdown at the back, I think on March the 20th is when I ran around and did them. Enjoy. So I've walked back to Fournier Street because I wanted to show you one of the East End's most unique buildings. So it's the building directly behind me. Now, if I can draw your attention to the very top of the building, let's see if I can get my finger in the right place. Aha, there we go. Now you may be able to see there is a sundial, and you might just be able to make out the year 1743, because this building was originally constructed for those French Huguenots, so it was built as a Protestant church. So it's had a very long and unique history. It's been converted to a Methodist chapel, been converted to a Baptist chapel. In the 1890s, with that massive influx of Jews, it was converted to a synagogue. In the 1970s, it was converted to a mosque. Come back in 10 years, it will probably be a hipster cafe. So more than any other single building that I can show you, this building encapsulates the entire history of the East End in one go. There we go. Apologies if the sync was slightly out on that. That's purely to do with bandwidth and the internet use. But I'll just show you a couple of